Hello. I've been getting comments like this for the last 2 years, ever since the vaccines rolled out. People trying to come up with various reasons to not call the mRNA vaccines, even though that's exactly what they are. This says, surely you must know by now it was never tested for transmission, hence not a vaccine. That's not the definition of vaccines. So let's start with that, because I'm going to tell you, even though Google is your friend, and you can just look up vaccine definition, and this is what's going to pop up. A vaccine is something that is accepted into a person's body, whether it's ingested or intranasal, injected either intramuscularly, subcutaneously. I guess you could do intravenously, but that's not really the case for most vaccines. But it's something that is gotten into the body somehow, and it helps your immune system to form an immune response against an antigen, a disease, a pathogen. That's why it's still natural immunity, even if it's from a vaccine, because it's still your immune system. It's not creating antibodies, it's helping your immune system create those antibodies by giving it something to look for and something to identify. In the mRNA vaccines, that's usually the spike protein. Now keep in mind, it does not actually introduce spike protein into your body, and spike protein by itself can't really do anything because it needs all the other virus machinery, which we don't have. So you can't get COVID from the vaccine either. So all the people that are trying to say that the mRNA vaccines are gene therapy, that's not how gene therapy works. And some people are going so far as to say that people shouldn't be having mRNA in their bodies, even though everybody has mRNA in their bodies. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of how biology works that often leads to these sorts of claims. Now, this other part about how it was never tested for transmission. Supposedly this was a bombshell that was dropped by Pfizer a couple of months ago in a hearing, except it was old news back then. Not really a bombshell because we knew that already. The original trials did not test for transmission because it was too short of a time period and too soon to tell how well transmission would be affected in the time that we had to do the trials. We were testing for reduction in severe disease, reduction in hospitalizations, and reduction in death, which we found, and it was great, and it was safe. The safety of the vaccines far outweighs any adverse effects they have, especially when compared to COVID infection itself. You can look at my previous videos for talking about adverse effects and the safety profiles with the vaccines. Just like we've upgraded our phones, we went from the Nokia bricks to now I have an iPhone or you may have an Android. We are upgrading our vaccine technology too, and mRNA is part of that. It's going to make our vaccines better. It's here to stay.